He has never really been handled, so he's just kind of scared of everything. He's originally a wild caught. He's been in captivity now for a few years, so he's established. He peed inside his home, so I have to clean him. Guy that I got him from had never like handled him or held him or anything, because basically this snake will just strike at everything because he's scared. Yesterday we had a few like positive experiences where basically all I did was put my hand here and he actually came out to me, so that was really cool. But this time I am gonna take him out. I have to go through this process, teach him that I'm nothing to be afraid of. Good things come for me. I keep your home clean, I keep your water fresh, and I'm not going to hurt you. I've been thinking about it a lot in the past little while. I'm part of this group called Advancing Herpetology, and in this group we have a whole pile of people that really do mean well, and they want to do better. They want to provide their animals with more. I'm all for that, but as I think about it, it's wrong to just be like, this is the best way, this is what's best. To me, there's so many different things. There's what works and there's what doesn't. Just because something works doesn't mean it's the best. I have a system that works for me, and my system is keeping animals very clean, fed properly. I miss out on the whole aspect of, substrate and UV and all this extra stuff that the animals most likely probably would benefit from. But I have so many animals and not enough space to be able to give them all that, and that is just the truth. Would I like to be able to give them all that? Maybe. I'm still a little bit off with the substrate because I've lost animals in bioactive enclosures because they've eaten the substrate. Mind you, they were all young. He's awake now and he knows I'm here. I'm just wondering if he'll end up coming out like he did yesterday. I was thinking about people saying, like, when you shouldn't force yourself on an animal. I disagree with that. Like, yeah, I don't believe in going in and just like being mean to animals and holding them in place and not letting them go anywhere and basically scaring them until they're forced to just deal with it. But I do believe in teaching. Teaching can be quite harsh. If you are gonna go to work and come work for me and I tell you you need to wear black, you have a choice. You can dress however you want, but if you come to my workplace and you're not wearing black and you're wearing white or some color or something, I'm gonna send you home. And if you come back wearing the wrong clothes again, you're gonna be fired. I don't want you to work for me because you don't know how to listen. Now, when it comes to animals, I have a very kind of methodic approach. I could stand here with my hand and hope that he comes over here and crawls to me, and eventually that system could work, but the thing is that it'll end up taking a super, super long time. Now I can go and reach in and grab him. I can hold him and see over time that he'll be a little bit less scared, or that he'll stay scared. One or the other will happen. And I have animals that I've done this with where after holding them a long time, they have calmed down, and it's not that they're so scared they won't move or anything, as some people have said. I don't like to say anything negative about any keepers, especially if they've never said anything negative about me. I do believe that if someone says something bad about you, especially in front of a pile of people, that you have the right to defend yourself. I have been attacked before, and in those cases, I'll defend myself and explain myself. But in this case, there's a keeper that has never said anything really bad about me, but kind of teaches that there's this way of, letting the animal come to you, letting the animal do it on its own. And tons of people gravitate to this and look at it, oh, I listen to the teachings of so-and-so. And that's very nice. And this person, rehabilitates some animals and works with a few animals. So that works for that person. And it could work for you, and it could help a lot of people. And I'm not saying there's nothing unvalid with this person's teaching. I have raised hundreds of reptiles over the past decade. So when I'm talking to you about things and sharing them with you, it's not to tell you this is the best way or this is the right way. This is just something that I've learned through experience. And I'm very bad at being able to kind of like explain things sometimes technically and correctly and be like, well, this is what happens, and this is why it happens because of this, and blah, 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 blah. I can't do that. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a dude that's been raising reptiles for like a decade. But the things that I will share with you are things that I've learned over time through experience, and I've made mistakes, and I've done some things right, and I've seen animals' behaviors change. And watching those animals' behaviors change and sharing that with you is not an assumption. It's not me assuming something. Assumptions are based off of feelings. Lots of people watch things and they get these assumptions and ideas. They see something they like and they go towards it. They see something they don't like and they push away from it. And the things that they don't like, they might just not understand, and that happens a lot.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
Yes. So I'm going to go in, and now if I just go in and reach and grab him, I might get struck at. So I might just kind of use something to kind of stop him from biting me. The previous owner was just kind of shocked that I just took him and held him the first time. But let's take him out and show him to you. So here he is. And I'm gonna let him crawl down to stick to me, hopefully. See, by me staying still and allowing him to kind of just check what's going on and explore, he might bite my hand, but hopefully he won't. Hopefully he'll kind of calm down and crawl down. I'm trying not to intimidate him, but kind of by doing this instead of me just grabbing him. I could just kind of grab him, and I have before. I don't want to get bit. So I'm hoping that he just chills out and starts exploring. But right now he is kind of in a striking pose. And then if he starts exploring and calming down, he starts looking around at things, he starts flicking his tongue, his tenseness will kind of calm down a bit, and then we should be able to have a little bit of interaction. And if he comes and crawls on me, he smells me, and over time he'll get used to kind of like, oh, that's him. He takes me out and we have some kind of like handling time. And if he just chills on the stick and stays away from me, then it wasn't the most successful session. My other green tree pythons are not scared of me, and they don't really react as much, so they're not running away or really like, I walk into the room and they don't go nuts. Like with this guy, like he sees me. When I go in the room, when anything moves, he's more aware. So I noticed that when animals are more scared, they actually end up being just like way more aware of everything. And because of that, later on when they get over their fears, you end up with an animal that will have more personality. Because he's so scared and so like aware of everything, he's ready to kind of pounce. And when you change that into getting the animal to be calm, eventually all of that like craziness will kind of transfer into curiosity. So I've seen that with Annie. So Annie is a snake that I rescued a long time ago that was just covered in mites and in poopy conditions, and she's just one of the snakes that whenever I open up the drawer, she'll actually come to me. And when you try to feed him, he's actually so scared that he doesn't strike at the food to eat it. He strikes it like he's scared of it. Previous owner would kind of smack him around with the food to get him to eat, and then that ends up making him more scared of everything. I named him Alpha. It doesn't have to be a super long experience. I just want to hang out with him, have a little bit of a positive experience, let him know I'm here, and interact a little bit, and then put him back in his home. And by doing a little bit of that every day until it becomes routine, and eventually it could, like right now it's something that kind of scares him, but eventually it could be something that he looks forward to. And then, I like to push it. I like to kind of like, let's see how quickly we can get there. How quickly can we get to the point that he's going to be comfortable with me? If the animal is not comfortable with you, they're not going to be exploring. They're not going to be like moving as much. when an animal's uncomfortable, it stays very tense, and you can just feel its body kind of like clenching. When an animal is comfortable with you, it's no longer doing that. It's not clenching, it's not running away, it's just, it calms down. It's a really simple kind of method that you can use with lots of snakes, especially when they're babies. If you put them on a stick and you let them kind of crawl to you, then you're not forcing them into hanging out with you. You're letting them choose to come hang out with you, and that's always better. Like with my other ones, I'll just go and kind of hold them, and I can test it with them. See, he sees my finger moving and then he kind of locks in on it. I want to see if I can kind of touch him and what'll happen, if he's going to be calm or if he's going to be scared. So he's looking at me, and then sometimes I wonder, I'm like, should I look at him? Should I not look at him? He sees my face moving. I touched him a bit. He kind of unwrapped. But you see now he's exploring. But he's not flicking his tongue, so now he's flicking his tongue. And the biggest thing is just to not scare him, to help him feel comfortable. If he feels comfortable, then he'll start exploring more. So my two female green tree pythons are Aru and Jayapura, and he is a wild-caught Bayak. I noticed him like a long time ago, and he started turning kind of black and blue, and I thought that was really interesting because lots of the time you see Bayaks. Well, I'm not an expert on chondros, but like what I've seen a lot with green tree pythons is that the Bayaks are more like yellow and green, and you don't see them usually as blue. But the interesting thing with him is he's blue and black a bit. I think that combining him with those will be awesome, because then I'll have green tree python babies with like from 3 different locales. Sometimes I wonder if I don't look at him, if that'll make it better, if he'll feel more confident. I've also always been happy to kind of talk to people, share ideas, and be able to be like, I think it's nice when we can have different ideas. You can disagree with me and I can disagree with you, and that doesn't mean we have to hate each other. That just means we disagree with each other, and we have different methods and we believe different things, and that's just part of being a person. There's a lot of people just seeing things and disagreeing with each other and getting mad at each other. And I guess that's the other thing that I found hard with the person I mentioned before, that basically I messaged them to kind of discuss and talk about things, and they wrote like a paper about what they believe, which is funny because I had already read it and I agree with most of it too, but I thought it'd be nice if we could have like a conversation, make contact, maybe share ideas with each other, maybe learn from each other. But it was a very kind of like, here's my paper, I'm busy at my little rescue taking care of animals right now, so I don't have the time to talk to you. So it's just like, if you can't even give a fellow keeper a bit of time to discuss things nicely, then I don't know. That's part of the joy of all this. Like, I enjoy kind of being here with my animals and stuff. Most of the time it's a lot of work just cleaning crap all the time. So it's just like when I meet a fellow keeper, I don't look at them like competition or like, oh, they do it wrong and I do it right. I just look at them like a fellow keeper, or like somebody else that enjoys animals, and it's just like, I enjoy them, you enjoy them, we feel passionate about the same thing. Let's be friends. Let's discuss things. Let's learn things. That's what makes it fun. Some hobbies you can do totally by yourself, but then some hobbies are more fun because you do them with other people. Never liked playing video games unless they're multiplayer. I don't really want to play a video game by myself. I want to play with friends. Ariel's like, oh, you're a loser. But I feel the same way with the reptiles. I feel like when you get to kind of do stuff together and learn together, it'd be like, hey, guess what? I tried this. Then you go, oh, I just tried what you said and it worked. Or it's just like, I just tried what you said and my snake just bit me. I'm never listening to you again. Like, he doesn't know what to do right now. He's wondering if he should bite me or like get away or explore or what. But it's just, he hasn't had to really use his mind like this because he hasn't really had these opportunities. So he's a little bit lost. So we gotta cross that point and get to it where he's like, oh, this is my friend. This is like where I feel safe. I can go crawl with him. We can go explore. I get to be out of my home, and this is a good thing. And the funny thing is that if I take one of my other green tree pythons and I take them out and whatever, I can grab them. We can do like exploring, and they can walk around and everything, crawl around, and they're fine. But they won't be as attentive as this snake is. Like, if I go hold them, I can just hold them and they just don't care. They're just like, oh, whatever. But like, I'll show you. So you see, I take out this snake and it's not really going to do anything or care because it knows. It's just like, oh, that's my owner. He's cleaning the cage or he's doing something. And you can just see she's so totally chill. She's totally relaxed. If I was to grab her, take her off or anything, she's not going to be stressed. She's not going to be scared. Like, she's just, oh, it's Matt. Like, there's no fear because I've handled her and held her from the time she was a baby. So calm, chill. There's no like crazy arching or what the heck's going on. There's just like, oh, did he just wake me up? Is it morning time? I'm supposed to sleep during the day. Just put me back.
Your voice, it echoes in my mind.
Hi. But I know I can put my face right next to her and she's not scared at all. We can have a nice time. With this guy, it's different. Like, he's clenched on his stick, wondering what to do. I'm just kind of touching him from underneath and kind of letting him get used to